hot topic out there is AI. And we understood that using our decentralized network, we can build a very powerful tool for AI large language model training and for AI agents that no one else can. Yeah, very important point here is that in the past, with the DVPN nodes, you were able to earn P2P tokens on your laptop or on your server, but now it comes to your mobile device as well. So you can use your own mobile device, your own Android phone as a Sentinel Scout agent, and you can earn tokens not only on your computer, but also on your device while you're en route, while you're in the car, while you're sleeping and phone is on a charger. No matter where you are, no matter what internet connection do you have, it gives you much more opportunities for getting passive income, basically.
In crypto, timing is everything. But most investors, they're chasing hype, gambling, and losing. That's where Tokenomics AI changes the game. Join tens of thousands of investors who've taken their portfolios to the moon and beyond.
The Keystone wallet is the wallet that you want to be using to keep your crypto safe. Whether you are a Bitcoin maxi or an altcoin lover, it is perfect for you. Easy to use, 3 secure elements, and integrates easily with MetaMask, Kepler, and dozens of other extension wallets. Get one now to keep your crypto safe and secure. Go to bit.ly/CryptoRichKeystone. Hey, Alexander, thank you so much for making yourself available. You are the CEO, the founder of Solar Labs. And Solar Labs is a project that's building on the Sentinel blockchain, which is a decentralized VPN. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so far since we spoke last time, we moved a little bit forward. Now I'm CEO of the Sentinel itself.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Hold on, just on that. Forgive me, since we spoke last time, 4 years ago.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, yes. A lot of things have changed since then. So
yes, and for anybody who knows, who's watching or anything, you need to know I've been holding the cryptocurrency. Used to be called DVPN, now called P2P. I've been holding it. I don't know. I think since 2018 or something ridiculous, and I still have a fair bunch, and maybe after this conversation I might get some more, but none of this is investment advice. Okay.
Yeah, no financial advice is
here. No financial advice.
So you're an OG, huh?
Yeah, I'm an OG. I'm an OG because I bought DVPN when it was still an ERC20 token. And we'll be talking about that, right? Okay, so and I've still covered this project. And I've done lots of videos with Freaknik from Melee and Math Nodes, and done other videos myself on this. Do you want to just give us a general overview of Sentinel?
So yeah, just to remind to those who weren't watching or forgot, Sentinel is initially we started back in 2018ish, I believe, as a decentralized VPN project based on Ethereum network. We have grown a lot since then, and we moved on to Cosmos-based blockchain of our own. Our main product is a blockchain that powers decentralized VPN applications, and just recently we had a huge rebranding, calling Sentinel not a blockchain for DVPNs, but generally L1 layer for DePIN applications, DePIN projects, and along with our main product, which is decentralized VPN again, we now trying to adapt more and more use cases for our decentralized infrastructure that we built so far. And one of the other areas of interest now is AI, because AI is trending. It is like a very hot topic, and we're building the tools for those who build their own AI agents and AI in general.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that, and we'll get into the AI and the ERC20 and what you're building. I didn't know this because I haven't caught up. It's been a while, right? Like you said, since you and I spoke. Decentralized layer 1 to building DePIN applications. But let's start with VPNs. VPNs and DVPNs. First off, why is any VPN important?
So VPN in general is a tool that allows you to encrypt your traffic en route, encapsulate it into encrypted tunnel. So not your internet service provider, not your owner of the Wi-Fi network, for example, or a government is able to track what you are doing, intercept your data, see what you're up to, what websites are you visiting, which applications do you use, and many things like that. But as you correctly mentioned that not all VPNs are equal. So yeah, there is a big difference in terms of which VPN you might want to use.
Yeah. So staying with VPNs in general, you may know that in the UK and in certain United States, and I think they're bringing it to the European Union, that you're going to have to, already in the UK and the US and certain states, is you have to identify yourself to go on certain websites. Now, these could be adult websites, but they can also be, I don't know, websites that the government thinks aren't suitable, aren't good for us, because the government really, really cares and wants to protect us from harm and from being upset and distressed. So in France, for example, it's not possible to watch Rumble. Rumble is not available in France. And then in the UK, BitChute. Now, these are both video platforms. BitChute is not available in the UK. But if someone in the UK has a VPN or a DVPN, and we'll say what that is in a moment, then they can switch the servers so that it's not in Britain or France, say to the United States or somewhere even freer, like maybe North Korea or China or Saudi Arabia, right? And then you're able to access those websites. But now the problem with that is that you then get to decide what's good for you, not the government, and that will upset the government. So that's why VPNs are so important, as well as encrypting traffic. And one of the things I do whenever I do anything with regards to crypto is I'll make sure my VPN is switched on. I make sure that I've checked the certificate is valid, so I'm not going to a phishing website. But I always make sure, that I'm going through a VPN because it's encrypting the traffic. Okay, so there's VPNs and there's DVPNs. VPNs are centralized, and there's risk of regulatory capture. There's risk, we don't know what the code is because it's closed source, and we don't know if there's any backdoors and they're doing fiddly bits. And there was I think today there was an announcement, we're recording this on Wednesday the 17th of September, that ExpressVPN has been brought up by an Israeli company. How interesting.
Yeah. How would you be surprised to find out that actually number of VPN services, I believe private internet access, probably ExpressVPN and some others, are actually belong to single company, which we call internally, like in our team, we call them VPN mafia. So that's pretty much describes who they are, as they claim they do not keep logs, they do not traffic your activity, they protect your privacy online. But as we observed through recent years, there was numbers of incidents where logs of no log VPN services were actually leaked with the user's activity visible. So yeah, as you mentioned correctly, centralized VPNs are something that we cannot trust. Yeah. And the best VPN service that you can pick is the one that doesn't need your trust, and decentralized VPN essentially is the way to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a parallel with money. We can't trust centralized banks. We can't.
Yeah, it works in every aspect of life, I believe.
Yeah, but which is why we have decentralized money in the form of Bitcoin or Pirate Chain or P2P. And P2P is the coin that keeps the Sentinel blockchain alive and functioning and moving and validating all the transactions. And on top of the Sentinel blockchain are these DVPN applications. So now say what is meant by a DVPN and why are they so special?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Sentinel is indeed a platform for developers to build their apps on, and mainly we support two directions at the moment: is decentralized VPNs and AI, which we will touch a little bit later, as I understood. So as for DVPN, we build a blockchain that allows application builders to utilize full power of Sentinel community. There is dozens, there's thousands of DVPN nodes, meaning servers, run by community, managed by community, and available worldwide. And all of them are present on the Sentinel blockchain. And for someone who is looking to build their own VPN application, they no longer need to maintain a complex infrastructure of huge data centers with dozens of servers there, managing updates, traffic, payments, and all of that stuff. we got it all sorted in the blockchain. So when someone, like, for example, there is a great app built on Sentinel called Vault. Someone comes like Vault to Sentinel, they integrate a DVPN functionality from Sentinel blockchain into their application, and their user who installs their app on their phone will be able to pick whatever server they like from whatever country they prefer. For example, they living in UK and they decide that they would like to go online from, let's say, Estonia. They will be able to use Estonian server in a Vault app through the Sentinel blockchain, and Sentinel will handle all the logics there. It will manage creation of the connection for the user. It will create an encrypted VPN tunnel to this server. It will ensure that with P2P tokens that we have on chain, the hoster, the owner of the DVPN node, is getting rewarded for the service that they provide, and the end customer is actually paying for that service using P2P tokens. So this is basically like a broad model of how economy within Sentinel blockchain works.
Yes.
So yeah, and for
let me just interrupt you there. I have an interview coming up with the lead at Vault. I'll be recording that.
oh, Zach, he's a great guy. Yeah.
So people should subscribe and comment and like. And the thing that I want is, when you talk about DVPN servers, I want to make it clear to people: a DVPN server can be your laptop. So you and I could be running Sentinel nodes on our laptops, and the data is moving through these decentralized nodes on people's laptops that are then providing bandwidth for the decentralized virtual private network service. And then people can log in and use that decentralized virtual private network. They can also earn cryptocurrencies by providing bandwidth. And it works out cheaper than using a centralized VPN, and there's no risk of regulatory capture. There's no centralized point of control, so it can't be hacked. The code is completely open source. Anybody can build on the Sentinel blockchain. And if you go to the Sentinel website, sentinel.co, you can see the different DVPN applications. They run on Linux, they run on iOS, on Android, on Mac, on Windows, and some of them are free or really, really low cost. You might have to watch some ads or something, right?
Absolutely.
But that's the advantage, fully decentralized. Now, I bet you know some success stories where Sentinel DVPNs have been used under certain circumstances with great success. Do you want to tell us a few?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, if we talk about adoption of the Sentinel for past year and a half, or for past 4 years since we spoke last time, we had numbers of apps coming on the Sentinel blockchain. We got a really amazing app built by Turkish developers called Independent DVPN. They are Sentinel based, and they are extremely popular in certain regions, especially in Middle East countries such as Iran, Syria, and Saudi Arabia, and other countries out there in that particular regions with heavy censorship online. People are able to access Telegram using independent DVPN in the places where no other VPN actually works, and this results were made possible only thanks to Sentinel blockchain. We got really great commercial clients such as Vault, for example, who decided to make their own like privacy-focused app, super app. Guys from United States reached out to us, and we helped them build their very own application, which includes the VPN functionality, and they decided to go with Sentinel instead of centralized solution, which they are benefiting from already. And North Labs, the company that I manage, we also built a great application, including some of the new platforms that we have never touched before. I'm talking about TVs. So while centralized VPNs used to have applications for TVs for a long time, but there's little to no point of having one, as most of the people using TV to watch content, right? And Netflix, Hulu, and many other streaming providers are able to detect centralized VPNs and blocking access from it. So if you're living, let's say, in Russia or in China or somewhere else, and you would like to, let's say, watch Netflix or Hulu, and you, let's say, go install Proton VPN on your Android TV, you won't be able to watch your TV shows using that, because Netflix will tell you, okay, you're using VPN, not allowed. But situation is completely different with DVPN app we have built for major TV platforms, Apple TV and Android TV. And the thing is that thanks to decentralization and the way how Sentinel works, this DVPN app on TV platforms is completely undetectable, completely undetectable by such streaming platforms as Hulu and Netflix. And you're able to watch your favorite TV series using that. And that's what made this application the most popular TV app on the free apps top rating list in the Russian App Store just several months ago. And we actually became #1 most downloaded app there. And we kept this position for a pretty long time, I believe for a month or so, until the Russian government noticed that, and they subpoenaed Apple to remove us from the Apple App Store, and they also subpoenaed Google to do the same. Apple complied, Google refused. Good for us. Yeah, so Apple removed this application from the Apple App Store, so we instructed our users how to bypass it and install it still on their Apple TVs in Russia. So they are still able to access content and use our service freely there. And I'm not saying good words about Google without a good reason, but I have to give credits to them for staying on the right path in that particular question. They refused to remove our application from Google Play. So yeah, applause for Google. So yeah.
Just on that, and even if that happens, I imagine that the Sentinel applications are available as APK files on different websites. So,
yeah.
And I don't know if it works for iOS, if you can use an APK on iOS because of the limits on iOS, and I'm not technical, but for people who know, people who don't know, like the problem with things like GitHub, Google Play, iOS Store, Apple Store, is that those are centralized and they can be controlled, like the Russian government telling Apple, remove it. But then when you have dozens and dozens of websites that hold that code package, that APK file, and then people can go to some, obscure website that perhaps the Russian government doesn't, or the Chinese government, or the Saudi Arabian government, or the British government even don't know about, then people can download it and run the DVPN on their devices. So that's important. And then the other thing is, I have heard that friends of mine, they've been wanting to. They're interested in certain cryptocurrencies that have launched, and then they've got messages saying you can't access this page because you're running a VPN. So the website, not just TV websites, but lots of websites are able to detect a VPN. Are they able to detect a DVPN?
If we're talking about Sentinel specifically, there's some other DVPNs out there. So far, we tested all of them, and only Sentinel comes undetected, thanks to a special set of technologies that we're using under the hood. So far, we saw many cases when people used Sentinel to bypass regional restrictions and access, for example, airdrop pages to get some airdrops to their wallets, some crypto, or, for example, to accessing certain centralized exchanges which have geographical limitations. For example, very frequent case. Let's say someone from Europe comes to United States for a trip, whatever, like on a beach to Miami, whatever, and they used to use Binance, for example, in European Union, and when they come to United States, all of a sudden they are not able to access Binance website for European customers, since Binance have a separate exchange for US customers only. It's called Binance.us. And essentially, they are not able even to access it with centralized VPN. And Sentinel allows these people to get access to their centralized exchange like they're browsing the web from home, essentially. So that's another use case of the decentralized VPN as well.
Fabulous. Okay. Anything else you want to let us know? Any other wonderful success stories that you think might be important?
Absolutely stunning success stories from Turkmenistan, which I love to mention on every podcast, X space, or interview possible. So Turkmenistan is a very regulated country in terms of online censorship, and there is very few websites available out there, and you cannot pretty much browse anything that government disapproves. And there is no single I want to highlight it. There's no single centralized VPN provider that is able to operate in Turkmenistan, and Sentinel is essentially the only VPN service available in that country. And we are making it possible for people in Turkmenistan to get online, access Telegram, Google, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, you name it. And this is something that inspires us to build things further, to develop our product and push the updates every time we starting to code something new. We are getting inspired with that kind of stories that we actually empowering whole oppressed nations to go online with decentralized technologies. I think this is amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's a really, really important point, because what these governments are doing are saying you cannot communicate with anyone that we disapprove of. No, I want to communicate with whoever I want. That's up to me, not up to the government. Government's not my mother. I'm a grown man, and I know from in my home country, Pakistan, if you use a VPN, you have to register with the government that you're using a VPN.
I heard very similar stories from Russia. There is a little bit different story out there. So they not requesting users to register that they're using VPN, but instead they asking VPN companies to implement a ban list of the websites that this VPN service should not provide access to the users from Russia. That's very interesting. So far, I found only one VPN service provider which complied. It's Kaspersky, basically a Russian VPN provider, and I believe there's no single other one that ever complied.
Right. But even then, there's the risk that they could. But I imagine, I've not looked, and on the Sentinel website, you can see different nodes all over the world. But I imagine that there are Sentinel nodes, peer-to-peer nodes in Pakistan, in Turkmenistan, in Russia, in China, in Saudi Arabia. North Korea, I don't know if internet is available to ordinary people.
Somehow, I don't know how that happened, but for a very short period of time, about maybe 5 to 6 months ago, half a year ago, we observed one node appeared from North Korea, actually, and we have no idea who that was and how they managed to spin it up there. But in fact, it had an IP address that matches North Korea IP ranges. It actually was working, and I was able to actually connect to it. So it was really surprising to see that from probably the most regulated country in the world, one DVPN node managed to appear from there. It is actually something. We also might have an assumption that probably North Korean authorities were investigating what Sentinel is during their maybe some shady activities. Who knows? But again, the fact is the fact. We had one DVPN node appeared from North Korea, and that was something that no one else had.
Yeah. Okay. That it might be the state government or state-related actor using it. Who knows, right? But it just goes to show that the power of decentralization. And listen, I'm thinking about the Berlin Wall, which was a physical barrier that prevented people being in communication with each other. And then what decentralized money in the form of Bitcoin and Monero and Pirate Chain and Zano. Notice the emphasis on the privacy cryptos. And decentralized VPNs, like all the ones built in Sentinel, is breaking down that barrier between human beings being in communication. Because I'm like, if we want to resolve our differences, we got to be in communication with each other, and not through centralized proxies like governments that aim to be acting on our behalf but aren't. They're acting on their behalf for their benefit. Okay, very good. Fabulous. So look, if you're go get yourself a DVPN. Okay, just check it out on on iOS, on Android, on Linux, on Windows, on Mac. Get yourself a decentralized VPN. Sentinel.co. All right, well, moving this conversation on. When I bought this crypto, which it's part of the IBC, which is the inter-blockchain communication protocol used by all the Cosmos assets, so Osmosis, Secret Network, Atom, and many others, running as part of that ecosystem. When I first bought DVPN, it was an ERC20 token. And then it transitioned to IBC, which I thought was a whole lot better because it was cheaper and faster. It used to be called DVPN. It's now called P2P. And you told me before we started recording, it's going to be bridging over back to ERC20. Well, first off, what are the transaction fees too cheap on Cosmos? Let's deal with the name change first, right? Forgive my cheeky remark. I'll make it later, maybe. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we started off initially as Sentinel, and our initial token, if you remember, was Cent.
Yes.
A very long time ago. It was very long.
That I bought Cent.
Yes, and then to highlight our main priority, we changed the name of the ticker, name of the token. We changed it to DVPN to highlight that we are dealing with DVPN mostly. And time passed, and we've built a tremendous network of nodes, and we understood that with all the capabilities of the network that we have built so far, we can do much more than only DVPN. And another very hot topic out there is AI, and we understood that using our decentralized network, we can build a very powerful tool for AI large language model training and for AI agents that no one else can. And we decided that we will transition from DVPN only chain to a fully functional L1 layer for DPN projects. And that to highlight that, we decided to rename ourselves from Sentinel DVPN to Sentinel P2P, which will highlight that we are now a fully functional peer-to-peer protocol for many applications, not only DVPN.
Okay, and so for people who don't know what DPIN is, what does that stand for?
Yeah, it's basically decentralized private infrastructure, and we used to, like many people, used to build apps and services on centralized infrastructure such as AWS, for example, Amazon Cloud, or Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure, and many other platforms like that. And DPN projects mainly their goal is to provide the very same experience through decentralized means, which will give you more control over your operations, over your data, less risks in terms of refusal of service, for example. We saw numbers of cases for the past 4 years where services which political points and political opinions were not aligned with the governments, and governments ordered centralized infrastructure providers to take these services down. And essentially, DPN is bringing back sovereignty over infrastructure. This is all about that. So, would you like to know more about the AI thing that we are building?
We will come to the AI thing, right? I want to stay with the DPIN, and also that it's becoming a layer 1. Now, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, so many, right? So Ethereum I consider to be a layer 1. Or Bitcoin is layer 1.
Well, you can say that, I guess.
Yeah, Ethereum is layer 1, and then you can build applications on it. And
absolutely. Yeah, you can. The L1 is a layer to build your own projects on top of.
Right. Basically. So Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, because you can build applications on those. But isn't that field so crowded? What makes you think that somehow P2P is going to be able to penetrate that successfully?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So if we take a look on what other projects out there, like blockchains, are doing, they don't have any specific focus on the areas of their activity. For example, Ethereum essentially is a blockchain for everyone. They can anyone can build on top of it whatever they please, and there is like a no main focus. But for Sentinel, we take specific areas that we are interested in, and we build tools for developers to build their own apps for specific purposes. For example, as of now, we only working with centralized VPN projects and AI projects, and we do not take anything else. As a result, as we are more focused, we are able to provide a better experience for developers, first of all, better tools, and we leverage experience that we already have with large decentralized infrastructure networks, such as many DVPN nodes that we have on the chain. We leverage that to make it usable not only for VPN, but for AI as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So you've got this established network, and you're going to focus in this particular area. Well, that can be smart, and I do wish the project every success, because then my coins will do well as well. By the way, none of this is financial advice. Okay, I'm making a risk. Taking the risk doesn't mean you should. All right. I'm going to go quiet because I'm going to ask you something, and I'm going to put it in the earlier section. And then by the end of that, we'll go quiet again. And I'm going to ask you how easy it is for anybody to start using the DVPN applications.
Okay.
And then also we can talk about the different forms of payment. People can.
Sorry, payment for what? Once again, just to make sure that I get it.
If someone's using a DVPN service, they can pay in fiat, they can pay in pirate chain, those different cryptocurrencies. Is that correct?
Technically, yeah, they can.
Math nodes takes pirate chain. Did you know that?
Yeah, so
that sort of stuff. And then people.
It's a little bit tricky, because they do that sort of bridging through centralized means. So they taking your like Monero, for example, and they're using their own DVPNs, P2P tokens, to pay for your VPN service. So it's not like chain bridged.
Okay, all right, but we can just say a little bit about it. No, don't need to go into detail, right? That's the bit. Okay, so let's go silent. Yeah. So, Alexander, anybody who's watching is like, okay, I'm going to start using a decentralized VPN. I'm going to use the Sentinel, an application built on the Sentinel blockchain because it's open source. It's been going for years. It's an OG of the crypto space, and therefore it's been tested. It's robust. Many applications are available on it. It's fully decentralized. But they don't know anything about cryptocurrency, or they know very little. I mean, how easy is it to use?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we build apps on Sentinel blockchain together with many developers with that exact thought in mind. So we thought that it is very important to make a user experience as simple as possible. So their DVPN journey would not be any different from centralized VPN experience, but with all the benefits of decentralization under the hood. So different apps allows different forms of payment. Some of the applications, for example, as Sentinel Shield, indeed let you create your own wallet, top it up with P2P tokens from whatever exchange you please, and you can directly pay for your service using P2P tokens. But for certain users, it might be too complex to deal with all of that, with exchanges, transferring tokens, keeping mnemonics safe, and so on. So, for example, a DVPN app by North Labs, they have a really great option of paying through centralized means of payment, like Apple Pay or with a credit card. And what essentially it is doing in the background, it is taking your money from your bank account and it converts it to P2P under the hood for you, and it pays for your service for you as well. And you don't notice any of it happening because it's all automated and happening seamlessly under the hood of the application, and the user is not able to even see that happening. Some of the applications which are built on top of Sentinel are striving to give as much options for payments as possible. One of such applications is Melee DVPN, built by Mathnodes. They allow all sorts of payments in terms of crypto. They take Pirate Chain, Monero, any sort of crypto, I believe. They also taking credit cards, and the concept and idea is pretty much the same. They also paying for your service in the background, which is very, very much more convenient than paying in crypto. We are blockchain guys. We are okay with that, but for mass adoption, which is the ultimate goal for us, it is very important to provide uninterrupted user experience for those customers who they were browsing the web. They suddenly realized that Pornhub is not working in the United Kingdom without providing your password, and they understood that they need a VPN service. So they went to Google Play or App Store, and they looking for a VPN to download. We need to make sure that their experience with the VPN will be as quick, as streamlined as possible, and that is exactly what we are doing there with this sort of automated token exchange.
Right. Okay. So, and I've used decentralized VPN applications. They are plug and play, pretty much. It's easy to install anything on Android or iOS or your laptop, and people can pay depending upon the type of application. They can pay with their debit card or their credit card or Apple Pay. They can also, if they're familiar with cryptocurrencies, they can pay with the DVPN coin, so P2P, the P2P coin, as well as with some applications, other cryptocurrencies like Pirate Chain. So then they have even more anonymity and privacy. And the person, they can also download the application, and depending upon what platform they're using, whether it's Linux or Windows or Mac or Android or iOS, not Android or iOS, Windows, Mac or Linux, they can provide bandwidth for the service, and they will be paid in P2P. And then
Absolutely.
The people that are providing bandwidth for the service, well, I suppose it helps that you've got some knowledge of cryptocurrencies and how they work. And then the other thing that's really important to mention is it's actually possible to educate yourself about this project, about Sentinel. Go get some P2P, stake the P2P in through your Kepler wallet or your Keystone wallet, which will connect to Kepler, and then you'll receive rewards in P2P, which you can then use to pay for your P2P decentralized VPN.
Essentially, it makes you a lifetime free subscription for a VPN service once you have a staked amount. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
not a financial advice.
Not financial advice, but that's very, very. Well, actually, we're not saying that anybody's going to get rich from this process. What we're saying is that it's possible to get a decentralized VPN service at no cost. You'll have an initial cost, but then no ongoing cost. That's very attractive. Okay, we'll pause. Thank you for that. I thought that's really, really important because we want people to use this, right? The next thing that I want to talk to you about, and I mentioned it earlier, is this ERC20 business.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Ethereum, I think, in 2016, and I was around in 2017 when the kitties craze was going on. I can't remember the crazy kitties, right? And where if you wanted to, and they were built on the ERC, on the Ethereum network, and it got so congested that it might cost $100 for a transaction fee, right? It's like, geez, it was insane. Now, the Atom assets, the assets like P2P that are part of the IBC system, the Cosmos ecosystem, really fast transaction times, really, really cheap. I mean, so you shifted from Cent on the ERC20 Ethereum network as an ERC20 token to DVPN, and now you're going back? Come on.
Not really. Not really. We're not going back. We're getting an additional representation of the token on chain. So it's like you have wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum.
Yes.
It's pretty much the same. The only thing is that the entry point is accessible for much broader audience. If we're talking about Cosmos ecosystem, for example, and decentralized exchanges there, as of now, we have only Cosmos community who are able to get P2P coins using Osmosis, for example, or GoSkip, for example, and be able to exchange their Atom tokens, for example, for P2P, or Osmosis tokens for P2P, and get P2P that way. Thanks to inter-blockchain communication, IBC, they are able to do so. But quite recently, Cosmos announced that they introducing IBC Eureka, which is inter-blockchain communications with chains from all different ecosystems, such as Ethereum. So now, through IBC, you will be able to send your P2P tokens onto Ethereum network and back. So it's like a whole new cross-chain interaction that allows you to obtain P2P tokens not only on decentralized exchanges within Cosmos ecosystem, but within any ecosystem, especially in Ethereum. So let's say you hold USDT tokens or USDC tokens on Ethereum, right? And you want to use these tokens to buy DVPN or P2P token, right? And what you had to do previously, you had to use that on centralized exchange or somewhere else. You need to exchange it to somehow to assets that are that can be used within Cosmos ecosystem, and then you exchange it to P2P tokens, or you use centralized exchange.
So usually, what I imagine what most people would have done, and certainly I've done, is I take USDT on Ethereum or Tron, or USDC on Ethereum or Tron or whatever, convert it to go to a swap service, a centralized swap service, or a centralized exchange, convert it to Atom because that has the most liquidity, and then I can use GoSkip or Osmosis to then go and buy whatever IBC coin I want.
Yeah. So the thing is that now with IBC Eureka, it will be completely different, since you will be able to skip that step with the centralized swap system, and you will be able to swap your Ethereum-based USDT tokens directly on Ethereum to P2P tokens. And you will be holding P2P tokens on Ethereum, and should you decide to use them on Sentinel, you will be able to seamlessly send them to another chain, to our chain, to Sentinel blockchain from Ethereum through IBC.
Well,
just the same way.
Is there some sort of website that I got to go through? Like if I want to go from Atom to
it will be. It is currently in progress, but generally you will be able to do so on any decentralized exchange over Ethereum. For example, on Uniswap, you will be able to find P2P token there on Ethereum, and you will be able to find USD token there, and you will be able to exchange one to another. As for moving P2P token from Ethereum network onto Sentinel chain and vice versa, you will be able to do so, for example, on SkipGo.
Right. Wow. Okay. And is this live now?
It partially is. We still have some of the aspects in progress, and but yes, stay tuned for announcements. We'll post it in our main channel, maybe in a week or so. Well, we will cover everything regarding that, and we'll even have a few videos demonstrating of how you can do that.
Okay. And are you're talking about, I assume, a website or something, or an application or a bridge that'll work across IBC, or are you talking about one that's just for P2P specially right now?
Well, I'm talking about one for P2P especially, yeah, correct.
Okay, all right. And then you mentioned was it skip.build, which is kind of like Osmosis, but much, much simpler. It doesn't have pools or anything. And it's a swapping feature. And it's a decentralized swapping feature, I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. That allows,
yeah, it is.
But it doesn't just use IBC assets, because I think it does cross-chain swaps as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, partially. I don't speak for other tokens. I don't know how exactly other tokens are working there. But as for the way how we are making it, we utilizing a newest feature of Cosmos itself, Cosmos SDK itself, which is IBC Eureka, which allows inter-blockchain communications with blockchains outside of Cosmos ecosystem. So essentially, the matching denominations from Cosmos ecosystem to denominations on other chains, should it be Ethereum, Solana, Base, or others. We expect, well, I'm not from Cosmos Labs, not from ICL to make announcements for them, but I expect them to deliver compatibility of IBC Eureka with Solana chain, for example, in some foreseeable future. So once that happens, that means that Sentinel token will get its own representation on Solana as well, which is also great, because as much representation on different chains we have, the more liquidity we do have, meaning the better its token price, meaning the more active development and mass adoption is.
Yeah, it'll increase liquidity, potentially increase greater demand, more usage for the DVPN. Keep saying it. More usage for the Sentinel decentralized VPN service.
Forgivable for OJs, yeah. For OGs,
That's right.
We can mention it. DVPN,
yeah. More for decentralized VPNs, and therefore the whole network will become more robust, and we'll all have more freedom to communicate. Good. All right.
That's most important part. Yeah.
That's most important. Okay. Anything else you want to say about the ERC20 transfer?
Well, I'll just say that. You guys want to follow us on our social media, Sentinel P2P, both on X and Telegram. Please subscribe and watch for announcements. We'll definitely keep you posted. Once this feature is available, we will let you know for sure.
Very good. Okay, great. Now, Sentinel, actually, before that, this bridge will be decentralized, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because many bridges aren't, or they're hybrid or something.
I see. Yeah, this one is completely decentralized. It's actually a smart contract.
Great. Very good. All right, so now let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. Aren't you just riding on this bandwagon? I mean, is it really got anything to do with decentralization and with decentralized VPNs?
AI is the hot topic, and everyone is so crazy about building their own AI tools, AI agents especially, and they looking for some sort of tools that will allow them to do so cheap. And one of the most frustrating aspects of building your own AI agent, for example, it is not able to browse the web on its own. It needs some sort of tools to do that. And of course, you can run large language model on your computer locally, and you can make it access the web from your PC and scrape data from the websites. But it, frankly, will get you banned very quickly from such websites, because most of them are against data scraping. And since these requests are usually automated, they are getting detected very quickly if all of that coming from one single computer. So what we thought of is that we can use a big network of DVPN nodes that we already have and use them for automated data scraping for AI agents that you build, for AI models that you train, and use them to access websites, not yourself, but let your LLM model do so. So what Sentinel Scout is another product that we are currently building. It is in active testing phase, out of beta already. So the idea is very simple. We have a network of, we call it Scout agents. It is hosts that are performing tasks of scraping data for you from certain websites and resources that you asked it to scrape data from. And they pack this information into a package and send you back, so you can use it for whatever purposes you need. So let's imagine that you own an Android smartphone. You can install Sentinel Scout agent on your device, and while your phone is, let's say you're sleeping and it's on the charger, it can earn you money from browsing a web on behalf of someone's AI training itself. The way how it works is that when you build your own AI agent, for example, you can introduce a Sentinel Scout tool into it, which will let your AI ask Sentinel Scout, okay, I have information that I have relevant data for training on this certain web resource. And instead of accessing that web resource directly, it can ask a broad network of Sentinel Scout agents to open a virtual browser, open this web page, scrape the data from it, and return it back to AI. So that ensures that, first of all, your IP address does not get leaked while you're using your own AI agent. That's the first thing. The second thing, that it allows you to scrape data without risking getting banned for AI data scraping. You can use it for a variety of purposes. You can use it for building your own AI agent again. For example, you can ask it what current price of P2P token is, and it can use Sentinel Scouts to access, let's say, KuCoin, for example, fetch information about price from there and return it back to you in the chat. Or you can use that to scrape like super large amounts of data from variety of websites to train your own very own AI that will, I don't know, detect something, for example, or you can train your own large language model out of it. What benefits does it have? First of all, you scraping data from a reliable source. If we talk about regular AIs like Grok or OpenAI, we know nothing about the way how they were trained. Is there any bias in their training process? Is there any data manipulation? How fairly information was collected from different resources? And Sentinel Scout eliminates that, as it allows you to scrape data from whatever resources you want without asking yourself whether you can trust it or not, because it's fully open source and decentralized.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing, because I've noticed biases with Grok and ChatGPT.
With ChatGPT, yeah, it is awfully biased.
It is really biased. Apparently, carbon dioxide, which is essential for photosynthesis, is going to kill us all, according to ChatGPT.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, that's amazing. I can see the values for those that are providing bandwidth to the decentralized VPN network, because it's another income stream for them. Because I imagine the P2P coin needs to be used in order to pay for and buy those services and to keep it all ticking over.
Very important point here is that in the past, with the DVPN nodes, you were able to earn P2P tokens on your laptop or on your server, but now it comes to your mobile device as well. So you can use your own mobile device, your own Android phone, as a Sentinel Scout agent, and you can earn tokens not only on your computer, but also on your device while you're en route, while you're in the car, while you're sleeping and phone is on a charger. No matter where you are, no matter what internet connection do you have, it gives you much more opportunities for getting passive income, basically.
Great. Okay. This is this seems promising. But who would use the who would use the DVP? Who would use the AI Scout? Right?
Yeah.
Would I use it if I wanted to find information out, or would it be a company or a group of people that are building a large language model? Could Grok use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Grok could use it. Grok could use it. Anyone who would build an AI that you are using, they would use it. So any AI provider for you would be able to use Sentinel Scout.
Okay, so then once this is built, you say it's in beta, once it's out and running and live, you would then need to go to these AI companies and projects and say, hey, listen, do you want to use Sentinel Scout?
That's one of the options, but we already see that there is an adoption from the perspective of decentralized community. So there is certain teams that are building their own decentralized AIs, posing themselves as a direct competitors to Grok and OpenAI and companies like that. They need tools to build their own AI. They need tools to train it. They need tools to scrape data from resources that they have collected. And Sentinel Scout is essentially a tool that they are using for that sort of purposes. So we already see adoption there. We also think that some of the centralized companies would be interested in that. But for general community who are developing their own, for example, AI agents, that will be another another tool in their toolkit for building their own AI.
Right. Okay. And then with the greater liquidity that's coming with the moving on to the Ethereum blockchain, and then also with the greater authoritarianism that's coming, and people learning more and more about the power of decentralization, how that's going to keep us free and help us preserve our liberties. More and more people are going to find out about decentralized VPNs. And then, of course, AIs are all the rage. And I think it's going to expose, people are going to realize the flaws in centralized AIs.
Oh, they already do.
Yeah.
And talking of authoritarian governments, we see the trend already. Just a week ago, we passed the number of 1 million total users on Sentinel, which is great, and it reflects the adoption that we got with the VPN apps only. And now AI is to come as well. We expect this number to increase greatly following year as well.
Great, fabulous. Okay, and then how many nodes are there roughly?
I can tell you exact number, just a second. So as of now, we have around 2,500 nodes online. This number dynamically changing, and somewhere around from 2,000 to 4,000 nodes. We also have around 10,000 unique users per day, and as of now, there is almost 5,000 users online using DVPN right now. Every day we serving around 8 terabytes of data. 8 terabytes of data for all of the users that are online. So pretty impressive stats. And for the total number of unique users that we have, it is already 1,024,500, which is a lot. And this number is growing every day with number of downloads increasing throughout all of the apps that we have on Sentinel blockchain.
And it will continue to grow. It will continue to grow. I can remember when there were only a few hundred nodes.
Oh, yeah, I do as well.
All right. Alexander, is there anything else you want to say before we finish up?
Not really. Stay private, use DVPN, don't trust centralized VPN service providers, and learn what P2P is.
Fabulous. And I'll have the links to the X profile and the website and the Telegram group. So go join, go follow this, go investigate this. And Alexander, don't wait 4 years before you come back.
Oh, yeah, I want. We'll try to do that more frequently.
Absolutely. I would love that. Thank you so much. Everybody,
thank you.
Share this video far and wide. Share, empower yourself and others to preserve your privacy and our freedom. This is Crypto Rich and P2P Alexander signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.